Making apple cores requires a different approach. Of course, you can just cut bits off the apple you've just made, but this is a quicker production method. Form a thick rectangle of the apple white, and you'll also need very thin rectangles each of the red and green. I'm making these pieces with my fingers. I'm not using a roller. You can use a roller or a pasta machine, but sometimes I find just using your fingers works for speed and for thickness. You can make things very, very thin with your fingers. Just by pressing and stretching it out. And I'll put the red on the top of this piece. Stretch it out as far as it'll go. Now I need the green for the bottom. I'll just help this along with the rolling pin. Nice and thin. Just need to stretch it a little bit more. And press it on well. Check for any air bubbles. There's one. Again, diagonally through with the blade and just press it down a bit more. Really is important to get all the air out of your clay. And it needs working down to the required thickness, around 1/2 centimetre. Then you can cut strips from this. And then this you need to cut into very tiny cubes. Again, I'm using pre-cooked Fimo for the stalk. And this time I push the stalk right in and on a slight angle. You'll see why in a moment. Again, hold a longer piece of stalk and push it in on an angle. Whoops. Just a slight angle and then nip it off. Then I use a very sharp pointed scalpel with the back tape to form a handle. You have to be really, really careful with this. I can't stress strongly enough how careful you have to be. I'm using a long handle for this, a wooden handle, and then cutting down towards that. Saves any pain. It's something to stick the extra pieces of material to. This is a darning tool that I'm using. There. Now you can just see that I've revealed the edge of the stalk and it looks like the seed. And that's finished. You can paint the little edges if you like to make it look as if it's a bit older.